diagram, if we just can connect only one router there, router R1. So if we connect this one only with my console PC, I'll try to configure the basic configuration. There are some 12 jobs to do. This should be there every week. So if we configure first the name of the router and the different types of password, as you see the login, I try to put different names we refer. Sometimes people they say login password or console password, same thing. And then the enable password and the privilege password, same thing. Because remember the last week what we did, we didn't have any password and we could get in easily without any password problem. Now if we set this password and we exit from our normal router prompt, if we exit from this prompt, now it will go to the warm startup, it will ask you a password once you set it. Now once you set and try to go to the enable mode, pressing enter, now it will ask a password provided we set this enable or privilege. If we do that, what will be the situation? We need to provide the password, then we will go to this prompt. That's our enable mode or privilege mode. If we are not in this mode, we can go further to configuration mode. We can type this configure terminal, we can type unless we come here in this mode. So to configure anything, we must come here. That's called enable mode or privilege mode. And for security purpose, we need to provide some sort of password so no one can come except the legitimate users. I pretend I am the legitimate user, I know the password, then only I can come, I can go for config terminal. So this is this password and the login password, the initial one. Once we set these two, we need to set the virtual teletype. See the word VTY. That's why it's teletype, not telnet. But the purpose is the same purpose we have for telnet, remotely logging to the router so that we can manage. So sometimes people say telnet password, sometimes they say VTY password, same thing. Now we need to set this up, and you can see from your lab member how to set this up. Very quickly, if I actually wipe this, we need to go to line VTY 04. Once we are in config mode, we can type line VTY 04. What this 0 and 4 stands for or meaning? 0 means the first session and 4 is the last session, 4th or 5th session. We are having here 0 to 4, that is 5 sessions. Some 5 different users from 5 remote places, they can log in to this particular router to remotely manage. That's the meaning of 0 to 4. This is a range. So how many sessions possible? 5. That was very actually basic. Nowadays, the routers you are using, you may have some 1024 sessions possible. So 0 to 1023, that many maximum sessions simultaneously possible. So how you write? Line VTY 0, 1, 2, 1023. Now if I ask you a question in the final lab exam, set a telnet password in a way that maximum 16 sessions possible, what do you need to write? You need to write here line VTY 015. 0 to 15, that is 16 sessions. Make sense? So we are done. Once we have done this, our prompt would change to config line. See, it was config now. Now as we are typing in line mode, it became line mode. Now in here we type password. In here we type password, and whatever password we set, this is you set the password. Whatever password you want in the production or real environment, you set a password. Press enter, and it will be same interface mode, line mode. The same mode will not change because we didn't exit from this mode. And then you write here login. So that means the meaning of this line is you are setting a password for that many sessions, and this is to log in to that remote network router. There is an order, you must, yes. Login. Yes. That's the login. So this, there is an order, you can type here line VTY 015 and the second line login. No, you can't. It must follow the order of this. Otherwise, that doesn't make sense. The sensible reason is we are setting 16 sessions. The password for any of these 16 sessions is that, and the purpose for setting that password is to log in to that remote router. And once you finish, then you exit. Then you will be again back to your config mode, because you exit from the line mode. Now the thing is, here if we just change this thing to line console 0, the same thing, same procedure will take effect for setting up the line console. So we have done two different passwords following the same procedure. The only difference is which line you are setting up. Are you setting the console? Console is the directly connected cable, and the VTY, the virtual teletype, is the remote one. So here we can't set more than one, because directly how many sessions possible? Physically 1 to 1. So that's why we start from 0. It's always line console 0. Make sense? So we done this two, we have done this one, and we have done that one. And the first one we did last week. That is very easy. You should go to config mode, write here host name, and say for example this is the R1 router. I give the name R1, and it will change R1 config prompt. R1 config prompt. Why? Because I made my router now R1. Previously it was the blank router like this. We did this last week, so I assume that you got this point. So we have done the basic configuration. Host name we have done this, we have done that. Now how to set this one and our privileged password, so that no one else except the legitimate or authorized staffs can go to the config mode, line mode, and this thing. One thing you must understand, if you are not going to the config mode, you can't go line mode, you can't go router mode, you can't go interface mode. To go to the config mode, you must come to the enable or privilege mode. So if we set a password, only few people can, those who knows the password, and those who don't, they can actually go. So to set this, what we do, we must be in config mode, and then we write here enable secret and whatever your password is. That's the command to set this one. So we did actually last week that part. Now I'm going to discuss something interesting. That's this one, MOTD. What is MOTD stands for? Message of the day. Now why we should have a message of the day? The idea here is, see, the router boots finishes and then it stops here. It leaves the message if you configure this. Some people they say message of the day, some other people they refer the same thing, banner of the router. So the purpose is, once the router finishes the booting, you have a message from the previous network administrator or network who configured last time. Okay, don't use this, I'm still configuring, I'll take that, whatever message, or unauthorized stuff, prohibited, that sort of thing. You can leave a message. So to do this, again you should be in config mode, and then your command is banner MOTD, and whatever message you want to type up or leave for the next administrator, you type that with a delimiting point. So you start with that delimiter point, your message stays here, you write the message, and you finish with another delimiter point. It could be this, it could be that, it could be that. So I always prefer using the hash.
This message like between the two space.
So you want to delete something from here? That's what you're saying?
No, I mean as I read in the letter, we can write anything.
You can write anything.
But what for?
The reason is so that, you know, if someone comes next day, we are actually 5 staffs from the same company, we all are the network administrator. But right, you are configuring this router. You are having some particular plan for this router. I don't know that plan. So you want no one else except you configure this. So you leave a message Okay, don't use this. I'm configuring. My name is Ryan. Whatever, it stays there. And you may be going for a vacation for 5 days. So if I see the message every time, third day, fourth day, I turn on the router boost finishes. I see the message. Ryan left a message, so I shouldn't use it. That's the purpose. Or you can type here unauthorized access prohibited. That he will be or he or she will be prosecuted. Whatever, a warning message. You can set it up. Whatever you like to, you can. Yes. So that's the thing we do for MOTD or banner. And the login synchronous I already mentioned in the last session, but I try to show up again. What happens in a live network? Router always keep changing its status because this is my network topology diagram. We have only 2 routers and maybe some computers here and some computers here. Now if you see another router being added here, there is a change. This is called the change in the topology. So once there is a new router added or some actually network already connected got disconnected, so it is a change. So router takes effect of the change and it shows you, if you are in the hyperterminal, it shows you the change. Now maybe when the change was taking effect, you were typing something in your CLI or hyperterminal. Now if the change is taking effect here and you type here, by the time you are typing config terminal or something show IP interface, you type up to show IP I and the change actually taking place. Now the status of the change is showing show the router interface up, down, or new network added, or routing protocol change, whatever. You are somehow a bit lost because it breaks your command and you see it got lost. What I typed last, did I finish show IP interface break or did I actually finish up to? You need to scroll up, check the letter by letter, and then you find out. But whatever, if we do have some mechanism so that router changing is taking place and it shows in the next line show IP I. So I'm not lost. I still can see what so far I typed last time before the change took place, and you type from there and you finish your command. So to have this purpose, it's not mandatory, but it's good. It makes your life easy. So to have this taken place, you need to configure login synchronous command. And why you should configure in line mode. So to go to the line mode, how we can go? We need to be in config mode first. Attach a different color, it's not getting right. So you need to be in config mode. You need to be in line console 0, and then you type here logging synchronous. Done. If you want the same thing in the virtual teletype or telnet, just change this to BTY04. That will do the same thing. So it's not only applicable in console, it is also applicable for remotely logging people. So that is the purpose of this thing. We have just done it. Now this number 7, no IP domain lookup. What this command is doing, we usually ping in the lab environment. We usually ping via some IP address, ping 192.168.1.1. That's what we usually do. But do you know the IP address of Cisco.com or Yahoo.com or RMIT.edu.au? We don't know. So what in real environment people do, they just ping Cisco.com like that because they don't know the IP address of Cisco. DNS service is a service, domain name resolution, that resolves the IP address from the name. So if you know the host page name, you can ping by that as well. So that is good for the production environment or real environment in a live network. But if, as we are learning here, we are learners in a learning environment or lab environment, if by mistake we type here instead of Cisco.com, that is wrong. Okay? And it will try to translate this Cisco.com to some IP address, but there is no such data for this. So what it will do, it will try to translate from DHCP server, translate from DHCP server. It will take your time. At least four times it will respond, and it will kill your time. We want to avoid this in lab environment. Don't practice this one in real live environment, because if you block, no means you are taking it out. If you take this out, what will happen then in the real environment, you can ping cisco.com, yahoo.com or that sort of thing. Okay. So that's why we do in the lab environment no IP domain lookup, and again it should be in the line mode. Okay. And the thing is, here, sometimes as you are learner new, we might spell something wrong. The command we spell is wrong. Say for example, by mistake, we type here enable spelling like this. By mistake, it's a typo. You know, we're typing first, we spell here wrong E and E. And again it will go translate these, because the router will understand it has a meaning. The meaning of this particular command I will get from the tape server. It will try to translate if we don't do this. So that's why to save our time, in lab environment only, we do no IP domain lookup. Make sense? This one, executive timeout. Remember for PC what happens if we don't work with our PCs for 5, 10, 15 minutes, based on how long you set for the screensaver, it actually takes you out, it locks you out, it goes to the standby mode or different as per your setting. In the real environment, it may happen because you might go to the fresh room, you need to attend a call, or you are going for a lunch and you are configuring a router, and if you keep the router open with your login, anyone can come and they can actually damage your whole network. So what you want, after a certain time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, you want automatically the router to log you out. This is the command for security purpose. So after 5 minutes time or 7 minutes time, the time you set, it will take you out. Then again they need to put the the login password and the enable password and then start bringing. So this command is doing that. So the command is executive timeout 5.0. If I write this in config mode, 5 is minute, this is second. This is how. So if you type here 60, that means 60 minutes. If you type here 120, that means 2 hours. This is how we set for security purpose. That's the purpose of number 8. So see, I actually separated these by blue underline here because these are some basic router configuration that people use in real or production environment. They use these. If we don't use this, we are confused which router and configure. If we don't, we have no security. If we don't do this, we actually don't see any message once some new actually stuff comes in and try to configure. Maybe that will conflict. The way another stuff is doing, maybe it will be conflicting the way I want to do it. So it's good to have a message or banner. Login synchronous helps so that you have the synchronized messages. And no IP domain lookup helps in lab environment because before we go live, we test in a lab environment. Everything, Telstra, Optus, Fujitsu, whatever they implement their network, they have a test bed. They test it, then they send it live. So this is for lab environment. Executive timeout, logging out. So it should be there every week with all the routers. Please at least follow these 8 commands 4 or 5 weeks. Once you get used to, you know how to set this up. You need to repeat every week then. You got my point? So if you configure in R1 some 4 or 5 weeks and then do the same thing for R2 4 or 5 weeks, in the 6th week you need not to do it again. Just set this host name. That's it. Because you know how to do this. Why you are wasting your time again then if you are confident? That's my idea. If you are not confident, practice it every week because it's in the lab manual anyway. Lab manual asks you to do these 8 steps every week. Just to give you more hands-on experience. Now this one, description to interface, that's not basic in my understanding. Why is it? See, I actually tried to give you now I'm going to configure the routers for real working. In here, see the green highlighted areas, all green ones. In this place, I must have an IP address so that they can talk to each other. Now, what happens if I have a router here connecting to my number 1 PC? I can set a description for what purpose I'm connecting this interface. Is it connecting admin people or is it connecting finance people? I can set a description so that 5 years time any new stuff comes in, by looking at the description of this interface, he or she can understand what purpose this interface is connected that direction. Okay. That's the description to interface is doing. How to set it up? you need to now go to interface mode. So to go interface mode, again you must be in config mode. You need to write interface fast Ethernet 0/0 because I am doing only for this LAN side. LAN interface is called fast Ethernet that has 100 megabit per second speed. So once I do that, it will change your prompt now to conf int because this is called interface mode. You set your IP address. This is a host IP, not a network IP, followed by the subnet mask, and then in the third line you write description, and followed by whatever you want to type there as a description. This interface is to connect my admin LAN or whatever you can type there. Whatever you want to describe, you can describe there. So this is also applicable for serial interface side, for any other thing. It's the same thing, it's possible. It's not only for fast Ethernet, you can set for serial interfaces as well as this description, the same way. So we have done that, and we have just showed you the interface IP address. Remember, IP address is for whom? Only for on host side. It could be this host interface IP or it could be this one. So this is not writing here a network address. It is a host IP address, a unique single host IP address, followed by the subnet mask of this network. So we have done that, and we must turn it up. To turn it up, we must give the command no shutdown. Then the interface will be up in the router. That's what you have done in the router. You have physically plugged in the cable, crossover cable, but still it is not pinging. Why not? Because we haven't configured the IP address, subnet mask and default gateway in our PC. So right click on your network card, go to the properties, click TCP/IP properties, set the IP address in the same network, again a host IP address, same subnet mask here for the PC, and the default gateway is always whatever the fast Ethernet IP address of this router is, always the same default gateway. Once you do it, we should be verifying using the commands ping or traceroute. Traceroute is an advanced command, I will discuss later. You now can ping from this PC to this interface of that router. From here, go to the command prompt, ping the IP address of this router, you will be able to do it. So it should show you reply 4 times. Now if it shows you request I'm out, that means that is another output of a ping. That means you haven't set correctly your default gateway here, or your IP address here is something different than here. So that's why request timed out comes. You're knocking in a wrong door going out. If it shows network unreachable, that means the subnet mask you type for the PC is something different. The subnet mask you configure for the interface here. Subnet mask is not same. That's why the networks are not matched. Network unreachable message is coming, and that's not good. We want reply 4 times. That is the positive thing. So we finish configuring PC and router. We can ping from here to here. That's good. But what about this? Then we should do the same thing for PC2, R2, all basic configurations. Ping from here to there. Fine. So now we can ping from this PC to there. We can ping this PC to there. All done. But what about from this PC2 to PC1? Can it be? No. Before we try to do that, we must understand we should be connecting these two routers, R1 and R2, physically. Once we connect physically, as this is an exchange side configuration, we should have a data communication equipment one side, and another side is data terminating equipment, DTE. And to synchronize that, you should have a clock rate command in the serial interface. Whoever has got the DC side, which side of the router, they must set the clock rate. Whoever is DTE, don't worry about that side. But I'm telling you, there is no harm if I put the clock rate both sides. So what is good for us? Put the clock rate both sides. As it's no harm, you need not to go back to your comms room to look at, did I put the clock rate for DC or DTE wrongly? If you try to put here, it will not even accept sometimes. So it's better put the clock rate in both sides. If you don't put here and try to put the DT side, it will accept. It is only possible for the DC side, your DT. So please make sure you put the clock rate both sides, no harm. That's the easiest way. But theoretically, you shouldn't do that. Now once you put the clock rate, the same way you go to the serial interface, you set the IP address for this and that, and you have your description, you have no shutdown command in place. This router and that router now should be able to ping, because they are now physically connected, they are now configured, their interfaces are up. But still, from here you can now ping here, that's fine, that we did last time. Now from here you can ping up to this. But you can ping from PC1 in here, why not? Because you don't have any routing protocol. So the job of the routing protocol is always to discover the remote network, not the directly connected network. So if I actually expand my hands like this is my LAN side, my hand is my router, I'm R1, right hand side hand is the LAN interface, left hand side hand is the serial or WAN interface. So from my right hand side, I can show you, he knows how to go this shoulder. But if I have no communication or no protocol in place in that side, this left hand can tell my right hand whoever he is connected with. So what I'm trying to show, if you don't have a routing protocol, this place can get the idea of this place. So we need to set a routing protocol, and the command for this is very simple. For both routers, firstly I'm configuring for router 1. You need to be again in config mode. Type here router RIP. RIP is an example of one of many protocols, RIP, and then it will go to router mode, router, and then you type here network. What network you are going to advertise or associate, that's the one here. So I will associate, as I am configured for R1, I will associate or advertise this network and that network, because they are my directly connected networks, not anyone else. So network LAN, I just write as a sample, and again go to the next line, network WAN, whatever WAN network address is, not a host address, a LAN network address and WAN network address. And you need to do here a command called version 2, because RIP has 2 versions that you know from your lab lectures. So if you don't type version 2, then it becomes version 1. If you type version 2 explicitly, it becomes version 2 RIP. RIP version 2 has many advanced features that version 1 doesn't have. So it's better to make it version 2. And once we do it, we are ready to ping from this one to that one. But still, I can ping from here to this one. Why not? Because R2 wasn't configured with the routing protocols. Now I'm going to do for R2. Same thing, as this is the common one, it will stay here, network WAN the same way. But now you need to change the network address of the LAN according to the network address here. Once you do it, then you're done. You should be able to ping from there to there. That's all about this lab session. Thanks for your patience, to listening to me and following me. Any questions from anyone?